Okay, good morning. Gotta get this thing off to the right start. In the church, we've long been talking about cleansing ourselves, so this is a special time for us, I think. I did a version of this yesterday, but this one's going to be a little bit different. Actually, it will be a lot different because yesterday I was going for comfort, which is a good thing to do. I'm not regretting it. But overnight, I realized that we need to be going for a challenge. So this probably isn't kid friendly. And if you got your kids tuned in, just share with them later what happened. Jumping off place today is, oh, and by the way, isn't this beautiful? I know a lot of folks have it a lot worse than me on many, many levels, but nobody's going to top me today for a setting for this little talk. Jumping off place is Jeremiah chapter 32. This got into me last week, and it just won't let go, and I've been going back and finding new truth and insight and inspiration. But today I've been finding a special challenge there. You know the story, all your products of Sunday school, but we're going to overcome that. I heard not too long ago that Sunday school is where we get together to share our ignorance, so we're going to struggle through some of those lessons. I know how it is. Scholars get all constipated about the 32nd chapter of Jeremiah because it's chronologically out of order with the rest of the book, and there are a few other little details that are odd, but they're missing the whole point. Jeremiah. He was in prison. As a matter of fact, it's his second jail just in this one story. What had happened, the Babylonians had laid siege to Jerusalem, and it started in January of that year. We know all this from other sources, and along in the siege, the Egyptian army started to approach, and poor Jerusalem, it just got squeezed all the time. And when the Egyptian army approached, the Babylonians retreated, and then later on they were able to come back, and in that interlude, Jeremiah got transferred to a higher quality jail, but nevertheless he was still in jail, and things were really bleak. There was no hope of him getting out of jail ever. And not only that, the Babylonians were about to crush the Jewish nation. They were about to take everybody away into slavery. Jeremiah himself would be taken away into slavery and never return. And it's in that context that he did one of the most dramatically, profoundly impactful things I could imagine. It was a part of the culture of that time, and I'm going to get in today anyway, but he got word that one of his relatives had died, and it was his privilege. He had the first opportunity to buy the property, and he did. It makes no sense whatsoever. He was in jail. He was never getting out. The nation was going to be crushed. It was not going to recover in his lifetime, but he bought that property. It was a real estate investment. I don't know what the property was like. I can almost guarantee you it wasn't lakefront property, but that's not the point of the story either. It was not about the property itself. It was about faith. It was the kind of faith that said there's hope on the other side. It was the kind of faith that said that God is going to bring good to the land if we will just give it time. And that part of the story, I think the meaning in our day, in our time, the situation we face is pretty obvious. A lot of us are locked up in our homes. We feel like we're surrounded by a marauding army that we're not going to escape. We don't know which way to turn or who to trust. And it's in that environment that people of faith have to step up. Now we're getting into the challenge. Another story that's akin to this comes to mind. Hannibal, boy, what a powerful guy he was. He was the general, emperor. He had invaded the Roman Empire, and he was encamped, in a strategic location. And truth be told, the whole battle was in the balance. And then one day he got word that the property where he was camped, exactly where he was standing, where his tent was set up, where all his bodyguard was residing, had been sold. We know this to be a historical fact. The next part is conjecture, though, but I think it's accurate. Can you imagine what it would have been like to have been Hannibal and had the property sold right out from under your feet? That had to have hurt his confidence a little bit. But I'm not too worried about that. I'm worried about the other side. I'm concerned about the other side. Can you imagine what it would have been like to have known that the property under Hannibal's feet had been sold? Would that not have inspired confidence? Would that not have told you that somebody knew something you don't know and something pretty incredible was about to happen? Next story. I don't like movies at all. It's been a curse to my wife who loves movies. It's just a part of who I am. But I'm a nut about the Lord of the Rings. It's touched my life on so many levels I can't even begin to describe it. So I went to see those movies, and in the Two Towers, there's the scene is they're locked up in the Hornburg, the last fortress basically, and Theoden King was going around giving instructions about where to do this and where to do that and how to supply somebody else. Theoden, by the way, is a name that roughly translates "God is in me." And Aragorn, who's supposed to be the hero of this story, Aragorn kind of grabs him and he says, "Can't you see what's here? These people are weak. Our defenses are pitiful. A great army is coming against us." You just feel him getting more and more panicky, and Theoden turns to him and with the most forceful terms says, "What would you have me do? Look at these people, they're scared. They don't need to know what's wrong. They need to have hope." Yesterday, a really good friend of mine who I hold more and more dear every day, I told her that she told me she was concerned, and I said, "Yeah, I'm a little concerned too." And she said, "Well, I didn't know you were ever concerned about anything. What would you have me do?" People don't need to know that I'm worried. That people don't need to know that I'm concerned. People don't need to know that I don't know which way to turn. What would you have me do? We have hope. We're supposed to live like it. Those of us who follow after God in the way of Jesus, we know a story about he came to a dark place. He kneeled in a garden at night, and he said, in his prayer, basically, "What would you have me do?" And the answer was, buy some real estate. Even if it's on Golgotha, buy some real estate. Right now, the people who are making the difference are buying real estate. Over at the Hideaway Grill today, Renee Laddie is giving away plates of beans to people who might have need. She's investing in real estate. And friends asked me to come to this beautiful place and give this talk, and they're investing in real estate, and people are delivering casseroles and praying prayers, and they're encouraging and teaching children and sending cards, and the list goes on and on. And you see, it's not about that stuff. It's the fact that we're buying real estate because somehow, some way, we're the people who believe that someday God is going to make good use of the land. So we're going to buy some real estate. We're going to plant us some seeds. And if you come to the point where somebody is questioning you, when panic is surrounding you, and you have to ask yourself the question, what would you have me do? You're going to know the answer. Buy some real estate. Buy some real estate. And let that investment grow. Okay? Peace be with you. I love you. You're up for the challenge. We can do this. Let's get on with it.